This is an update in regards to the last video I've made, which relates to Franz Bardon. I called it the ultimate key to Franz Bardon. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend to watch that video first. Now, I want to say a few lines about how to practice Franz Bardon, because I see all these internet influences meaning well, but in my personal opinion, rather distracting the practitioner from actually benefiting through the Franz Bardon system. Now, what do I mean by that? The Franz Bardon system is set up in a very particular way, and your personal experience with it creates a certain flow, a certain dynamics, which is beneficial for what I would call your spiritual level of self-realization. So in Buddhism, you would call it the right view. So you develop through the practice of meditation, to reading sutras and so on, you're developing step by step the right view. And the same is valid for Franz Bardon. You do the imagination exercises, visualization exercises, let's say for 1 month, level 1, and then you develop a certain understanding through your own practice. Now, if certain people advise you in doing these exercises different, you know, Franz Bardon knew what he was talking about or writing about, I would definitely recommend to forget about whatever other people say about it. And this is why I will not create such a course. As I said before, I have done these exercises for the last 40 years on and off together with Taoism. I'm a yoga acharya. I have done certain Theravadian Buddhist meditations like tranquil wisdom, insight meditation, and many other things. The one thing I learned is that through your own practice, you grow. And that takes time. There is no shortcut to this. Just because you buy some online course, you will not grow faster. You will grow through your own practice, through your trial and error, through gradually understanding things a little bit better. And in particular, through the 4 elemental equilibrium, do these exercises. There's a very good book from Czech Hermetics. I just forgot the title. It's about helping you, a guide to the 4 elemental equilibrium. If I find the title, we'll put it in the description of this video. Now, it's really important to understand that unlocking the 4 elemental powers is related to your elemental equilibrium. We will already see with the imagination exercises, visualization exercises, that gradually, the more you develop your 4 elemental equilibrium, you will be able to optically visualize better or acoustically visualize better. And the same is valid when you do the 4 elemental exercises. At one point, when I started when I was 10, 11 years old, I was able to raise my body temperature to 39.6 degrees or drop it to a 35.1 from an average of about 36.4. And I could measure that. I was also able to actually heal not only myself, but other people. And that came when I finally realized, and that is what I'm talking about, when my understanding grew of how to practice, that the 4 elemental equilibrium is key to absolutely everything, in particular the Akashic trials. You will already create an Akashic feeling when you do level 4 elemental equilibrium. So here's the key. Do the 4 elemental equilibrium before everything else. If you don't find the time to do the visualization exercises, I mean, you can always do 1 or 2 minutes, but if you really don't find the time, so what? Make sure you follow the advice given on the first 2-3 pages of Franz Bardon. Become a better person, be a kinder person, and always look after yourself first when things go wrong. Here's why your spiritual growth actually starts. The 4 elemental equilibrium is of utmost importance. In other traditions, the focus is not so much on practicing visualization for hours and hours every day, but to actually do what you could call an inner alchemy, for example, with J.B. Koenig. I will make a separate video about that. So I hope that helps. I will do, whenever I find the time, some videos, some spiritual videos. If you like what you see, subscribe, like my videos, give me some comments, some ideas, suggestions. If you disagree with me, please let me know. Have a great day, guys.